Good evening, Ben Keane.
Hello,
Welcome
Rebel Book
to
Clubbers.
Rebel Book Club.
Woo!
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm toasting. What are we toasting tonight?
I believe this is our 70th meetup. Happy 70th.
70th meetup. And this time last year, we were actually still meeting up. We met up for Fashionopolis in 6 different cities, 2 places in London with Dana Thomas. And we talked about sustainable fashion. We met some cool brands. And here we are a year later. But we feel like in the UK, at least, we're on the cusp of coming back to that, the beginning of the end of all of this. But be able to keep going. Good to see you all.
I know. Look at this. I can see Scotland, Beirut.
Conrad in Beirut. I haven't
heard
Beirut shouted out on RBC before. That's great.
The first. Romania, Anchor's here. Dean in Brussels. Good evening. All Brighton in the building. This is what we like. Look at this. Diversity. Scotland as well. Verona. We love it.
So listen, we've got loads packed in tonight. We've been quite ambitious. We always try to do something a bit different and experimental with these online events. But as we learned with the art of gathering, you do not start a funeral or even a cool book club party with admin and logistics. A question I'd love everyone to think about, we'll ask Bobby, is what's the most important number in your life? Like, think about what number really matters to you and why. And what's the most important number, do you think, in the world? They may be the same one. You're just like pi and pi or whatever it is. But I'm on total Fibonacci. That's my thing. Or you might say, no, it's this number because that's the shirt that Harry Kane works. Should we get someone up here who might be able to help?
I think we know a guy, right?
Yeah, we know a guy. Let's see if there's anyone, if we can find a maths teacher in the house. Is there a maths teacher that we all wish we had who can join us here on the stage at Rebel Book Club?
Hey!
Oh, it's Bobby Seagull.
Welcome, Bobby.
I was doing my Seagull things with my students. In the very first lesson, I always get the Seagull jokes out of the way. Like, I'll go, oh, there's my uncle in the playground, there's my cousin. Because then they get bored. They're like, if Mr. Seagull's mocking himself, then it's not that interesting, is it? So I get it out of the way, get all the cacaos done. Week 1,
and
week 2.
Seagulls to be seen. How do you get the laughs going?
Say again?
If there are no seagulls within sight, what happens?
Then it is a problem. Then it relies on YouTube to bring up like a seagull version on the internet.
So then you start singing Paolo di Canio.
Yes, that's the Rigoletto. That's the aria from Rigoletto. La Donna Immobile. That's the one.
That's the one. Now I saw that little clip of you and Monkton doing that, and you were teaching him that line in some quiet library whilst you're researching. I was like, this is one of our guys. Bobby, I would love to introduce you to Rebel Book Clubbers, 168 in the house here tonight, all cheering from their various isolation stations around not just the UK but around the world. We'll kick off Bobby's quiz in 5 minutes, but before we do, we'd love to just get to know the main man a little bit. Now, you've been doing a great job in the UK over the last couple of years of getting yourself out there, inspiring and entertaining people. But for those of us that are kind of connecting with you sort of in person for the first time, take us back, Bobby, to where your relationship, I guess the answer to this question, right? Where did your relationship with numbers come to life? When did it catch fire? What happened?
So to be honest, it really was football and football stickers. And I think I've outlined it in the book, but there generally was a particular conversation. So one of my friends had said that the footballer Mathletes, Southampton, was a better striker than Arsenal's Ian Wright. And when I asked him why at the time, and I'm 5'5", I'm still not, I wasn't very tall then, I'm not very tall there now. And I asked him why, he said, oh, just because. And then he wouldn't delve into it further. So these sticker books were treasure troves of information, again, names, ages, heights, left foot, right foot, goal scored, all this sort of data. I input it into an early version of Excel in the 90s. And I did a simple comparison between the two players. And again, I input all the data from all the 24 clubs, 30 players, 24 clubs, that's 720 players. Could be a quick arithmetic. Shouldn't put myself on the spot. And I did a simple comparison of the averages. I went back to my friend and I told him, actually, if you compare the two players and you strip out penalties, Ian Wright actually was a more effective player on the field. And my friend, he said, that's a good point you make, Bobby. And it didn't make me popular, but the thing is, it just showed me that numbers can be an objective way to analyze things and eventually win some friends.
Fantastic. That's a great reason. I wish I had that insight at that stage of life. It would change everything. BSG.
And then how did you kind of like turn that passion into a career? So the next stage was maths teacher.
Yes. So actually, my first career after university was working in finance. Again, if you're numerate in London in the mid 2000s, the city drew people in. So I worked initially as a trader at a bank called Lehman Brothers. Not a good choice of bank. Lehman Brothers, September the 15th, Monday, 2008, collapsed. Not connected to me. And then I did
It wasn't you. It wasn't me, Gov.
I'm going to find like the FBI storming through the door now. They're like, got him.
You were the guy that was walking out with your box on that day. Yeah.
Although I was one of those. Although I had a shopping trolley rather than it's not good. You know, it's not good for your back, is it, to carry a box?
Good look on live news to walk out with a box. You have to go with a shopping.
And then again, I stayed in finance for a bit longer. I did the same job at Nomura, Japanese bank, as a trader. Then I qualified as a chartered accountant at PwC. But actually, it was at PwC I had my sort of epiphany. So I took a mini sabbatical to tutor new graduates joining the firm. And then, do I call you Ben and Ben? B&B?
Whatever you feel like. Yeah.
Ben squared.
Ben squared, I like that. Ben squared. I found like I really came to life teaching people, albeit these were young adults at 21. So then I decided to go back to university, do my teacher training, my master's, become a maths teacher. And that's how sort of I decided, yeah, I'm going to use my life to become a maths evangelist, as it were.
And so you know, thousands of people thankfully become maths teachers, but I'm not sure if every one of them goes through this, like, I want to be an evangelist. So what was it about your relationship with teaching that really was, you were really ambitious about it? Was it when you started doing the work with students that you were like, wow, I can really shape someone's life? What motivated you?
To be honest, actually, I think the public role I've had is more serendipity and then taking advantage of that. So when I changed careers, my ambition was I want to be a really good maths teacher, head of department, maybe one day head teacher, maybe one day head of a few academies. You know, there's like, if you're an ambitious teacher. But it was to be primarily a teacher. But I went on the quiz show University Challenge. And for Americans that are watching, it's a bit like Jeopardy, but with university-based teams of 4. And in the UK, it's the oldest running quiz show. It's been there since 1962. And I found out it's not the oldest running quiz show in the world. In America, they've got like a high school equivalent of University Challenge. It's been since 61. So that, annoyingly, so if I haven't become the host of University Challenge, I'm going to get the other one shut down in America. So I can say I run the oldest quiz show in the world.
So you're saying that America has outdone UK on history?
By 1 year.
Wow, that must be a first. But the journey to get onto University Challenge, because I tried this, I don't know if many members did, but let us know in the chat if you did. I tried it when I was at uni, and I think I got to round 2. We were holding them in our bar, so I didn't even get out my own college rounds. How many stages did it take until you ended up on TV?
Yeah, so it's you have your college trial. So Emmanuel, Cambridge, my college. You have a first trial in the bar, and that's quite casual. A lot of people coming some people coming a bit tipsy from Formal Hall. Some people having doing it. I was quite full. I had a dessert with me. So I'd come from Formal Hall, but I was like, no alcohol that dinner. And then after that, they invited the top 15 to come for buzzer trials. So that's where they get 2 sets of 4 buzzers, and you're there buzzing away. And over the course of a couple of hours, they whittle down people. They say, thank you, goodbye. And slowly they have it down to 2 teams of 4, and they pick the best 4 from that. And
so is that where you met Monkton? Is that where the romance began?
I met him in Cambridge. They almost have they run like weekly University Challenge practice. So like teams that you see on television, there's like an amateur gentlemanly sort of, we want to just, we sort of accumulate knowledge throughout our life. But there's like a serious process of training. Teams that get on, we practice hard. It's like a sport. It's not by chance that teams do well there. It's because they've spent a lot of time preparing, practicing, doing lots of pub quizzes, going to museums. So it's like a serious effort to do well on the show.
And you did do well. And what happened off the back of it?
Yes, on the back of it. So in my series, again, when I entered University Challenge, my aim was I'd love to win it if I can. It'll help me in my teaching career. I'm going to have a nice little name tag that says Seagull, which I do use sometimes in my parents' evenings. But I went viral after I think a couple of my matches. And I think what went viral was it was a combination of I am knowledgeable, but I think people love my enthusiasm and the way that I involved everyone on the team, that if I got an answer right, I was joyous. If I got something wrong, you see me going, oh no, so I think, again, a show that's not meant to capture personalities. For people that don't love the show, it can look a bit dull. but my sort of energy inadvertently, it wasn't planned. It just was me, and it came through the screen.
Yeah, it's easy to stand out on that if you've got character as well as brains, I think, and you did that brilliantly. So we get it. There's more we want to hear about your life, Bobby, because there's so many fun things happening, and you're doing. Yeah, so we want to get, but we've got time. But I think it's important that we get into quiz mode, because this is what we're here for, and this is what our members are here for. The answer to the poll, by the way, and I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what the answer might have been before people had read your book. But I don't know if you can see the word cloud, but the word love is the largest word on there.
Wow.
In one word, how do you describe your relationship with numbers? Love.
That's nice.
I don't know if you got extra votes, Bobby, on this poll, but
No.
yeah, but that's pretty powerful, isn't it? Complicated, it's quite big, comfortable, positive, tense, magical, fun, useful, tenuous. But tenuous relationship with numbers. Sounds very relaxed, doesn't it? Love and hate, yeah. Troubled, meaningful, memory reassuring. Basically, the whole spectrum of human emotion is there.